The market rockets higher as expected into the holiday weekend. How high can the bulls take it? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in last week's video, we talked about the fact that the market should be set up for a blow-off top into the weekend, and that's exactly what we saw. The market launched higher into Friday and over the weekend, and now the question is, how high can the bulls take it? I'll get into that in just one second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, so as we called for last week, we were looking for the market to shoot higher, and that's what happened. The people in the room were killing it. If you'd like to know how we did this, I have an incredible offer for you later in the video, so stay tuned for that. But for now, let's jump into the chart and take a look. All right, guys, so here we are on the 1-hour futures chart for the S&P 500. As we talked about all the way back here on May 4th when they made this slightly lower low, I said if they're going to take it higher, it was likely going to be in a diagonal and three-wave moves. That's what we saw with this ABC higher for 3 waves up, and then an ABC down in B. And now we're looking to complete this C wave higher, and they're kind of doing it in a direct manner. I talked about why this was happening last week in this direct kind of blow-off top situation where we had some catalyst. We also broke directly out over some key levels, and the NASDAQ was pushing pretty hard in a very bullish structure. So now the question is, are they going to try to take this directly higher, okay, where we look for them to continue this push up to 42.63, but more accurately, I believe 43.01 or up to as high as 43.62. I don't think they can get there in the direct push. If they're going to do a direct push, I think it's going to be right around 4,300, maybe 43.10, and then we'll see the end of that push higher. But we would look for at least that level on the ES. Now, the overall question is when they do start to pull back, and that can be from right here, is it going to be a corrective move, which tells us that this was only a wave 1 up, and then we look for a wave 2 down, and then 3, 4, and 5 higher toward 43.50, or is it going to be an impulsive move to the downside telling us that we're starting a bigger sell-off that will start to break some key levels of support and potentially move us into the C wave we've been talking about since last October? So what happens next is they either continue this direct move higher, which I think would run out of gas around the 4,300 level, or we get a pullback. And the nature of that pullback is what is important. So if that pullback is a corrective move that's an ABC, again, then we're going to look for higher towards 43.50. If that pullback, though, is impulsive and we see a clear 5-wave move down, then it very well could be lookout below. So there are a couple of things to watch out for over the next couple days, and it's going to be how the market takes shape from this area here, because the NASDAQ is starting to get extended. It already hit its target that we called for back in October, and the ES is still a little bit short. So one of two things is going to happen. The NASDAQ is going to continue to extend up towards 14.7 or 14.8, or the ES is going to come up short of its target. We'll figure out which one that is as we move forward. But I do think that we'll see the S&P 500, the ES here, move up and tag at least 4,300 overall. So the big thing, the big takeaway of the move up here will be the next pullback. If tomorrow they're pushing higher, then we're looking and they break out over the high that they had on Sunday, which was up around 42.40, then we'd be looking for a pretty direct move up toward the 42.60 to 80 area. And then we look for a 4 or 5 to complete that direct move higher towards 43.10 to 20, somewhere in that range. If, however, again, if they want to pull back, then we'd be looking at the nature of that pullback to find out if this move up is done, or if we're just pulling back to set up for one more launch higher into that 43.50 region. Over on the NASDAQ, okay, on the NASDAQ, guys, remember the NASDAQ has been super bullish. We've been talking about how bullish it's been for months now. Even with all the mess in the ES, I've been telling you that the NASDAQ is set up for the big breakout, and that's what we've seen. They've pushed it up toward our target. So if I told you the 618 retrace of the move down was about 14,400 in that region. That's where they got to. In the push in the overnights, they came up just short of it on Friday, pushed over it in the overnights on Sunday, and now have come back to close this gap. And it's not unthinkable for the NASDAQ to extend up to the 14,653 to 14,800 area, and that would pull ES up toward that 4,300 area we've been talking about. So the NASDAQ does look like it is already in its wave 3, which should extend up to about 14,500. Then we'd look for a wave 4 pullback to the 14,250 area, and then the 14,700 area to finish the wave C and the wave B of the bigger move we've been talking about since last October when we were down around 10,000 and I said we should be headed toward 14,000 plus. Here we are, and this is what we're looking for to finish off that move. This would also bring ES up with it to the 4,300 level we talked about last October. So I do think that we can push up towards 14,500 before we see a pullback, then get one more pullback and one more push to complete this move on the NASDAQ toward the 14,700, 650 to 800 range. Now, the key on the NASDAQ, again, will be the type of pullback, but the bigger key will be a break of the 14,161 level. If they pull back and break 14,161, okay, that can be a bearish sign. It doesn't mean we're definitely going down. It will again depend on the nature of the pullback. If it's corrective, we'll look for it to hold support and push one more time, okay, with wave 5 potentially being an ending diagonal if it's corrective to the downside. If it's impulsive to the downside, then we have to really be cautious because the NASDAQ is where it's supposed to be. And so since it's where it's supposed to be, all pullbacks should be looked at very cautiously. And if they are impulsive, again, it can be look out below where we break a bunch of support and see a big fall in the NASDAQ. So I think ultimately we push higher to the 14.7, 14.8 area to get ES up to 4,300 to complete that overall move on both charts and then get the pullback. But again, any pullback should be watched with great caution if you're long. So that is what we're looking at on both charts, trying to get ES to 4,300, which would push NASDAQ to about 14.7 and in that range. Guys, if you love the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investswithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link and it will take you right over to the website. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. And if you've been watching these videos, you'll notice something new. Our Elliott Wave for Beginners course is now for sale a la carte, so you don't have to become a member of our trading room to get this course. I know many of you wanted to learn Elliott Wave without being a member, and so here is your chance. Now, I listed for $67 right now, and that's what it will be going forward, but just for this week until Saturday, I'm giving you $30 off of that price with the coupon code GO Knights because the Vegas Golden Knights are going to the Stanley Cup Finals. You will have that coupon until Saturday night. Again, that coupon is GO Knights, all one word. You can see it on the screen right now. And it's really important that when you enter that code, you scroll down to where it says have a coupon and click. You type in GO Knights, all one word, and hit enter. And you'll see that little bar, and when you scroll back up, it'll say right here, $37 with coupon GO Knights. So guys, make sure you use that coupon to get this right away. Otherwise, the price is going to $67 after Saturday. All right, guys. So in our membership plans area, we do have two incredible plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial because I want you to get in there. I want you to become part of our trading team and make sure you love it before you ever spend a penny. You can cancel at any time. As I mentioned, we do have our Elliott Wave for Beginners course, guys. It's 25 different videos, our introduction, chart setup and tools, the way I set up my chart and how every tool that I use with Elliott Wave, and then all of the Elliott Wave for Beginners course videos you see here. That does come with both memberships. In our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where I go over exactly where we are in the counts and what to expect, as well as the training material you just saw. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing trade, which means our trades can last anywhere from a few days to a few months, so we don't trade quite as often as a day trading room does. However, if you are interested in day trading as well as individual stocks, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as individual stocks, day trading, and PT's reduced risk binary method that absolutely crushes the market. He gets you in at a cheap price and gets you big multiples on your money, and it's how he structures the trade that's so unique. It's something you kind of have to see to understand, and that's another reason we give you that 7-day free trial. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account trading mini ES futures, averaging 3 to 4% gains per week, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we would love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. All right, key takeaways for today, guys. We are anticipating that we get up and hit the 4,300 area on the ES. How we get there is to be determined. We could see a corrective pullback and then a launch higher up to 4,340 or so. However, if they do go directly higher, I would look for a push to about the 4,280 area, then wave 4 and 5 up to about 4,310 to complete that move. Any pullback should be watched for an impulsive move, and if you see that, it could be a very big red flag to the downside. Over on the NASDAQ, Same type of situation. We still haven't seen a 4 and 5 on the NASDAQ. So we're in wave 3. We would look for a wave 4 pullback and then wave 5 higher that can extend up toward the 14.7, 14.800 area, which would pull ES up to the 4,300 area we've been talking about. However, again, just like on the S&P, any 5-wave decline should be a big red flag as a potential move much lower on the NASDAQ. Guys, that is the market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.